That's what I'm talking about, baby. What a win for Miami as they dominate a rematch of last year's championship game. Shout out to the GOAT, Messi, for scoring the second goal to put Inter Miami up 2-0 as they defeat Nashville SC 3-1 in the CONCACAF champion round for... I don't know. I'm not really a soccer guy, and I'm trying to learn, one, because Inter Miami has the GOAT, Messi, and two, because I need a good team to root for. And a good team is not the Miami Heat, as they do lose to the Denver Nuggets today. Also in a championship rematch, 100-88. Now, a couple notes about the game. Denver was up about double digits early. Really didn't get that much higher than like 10-13. Thought they were about to run away with it. But Terry Rozier was making some plays. Duncan Robinson was making some plays. And the Heat were actually able to take a 1-point lead. They came out into that third quarter, played very, very well. Led by Bam Adebayo, who we're going to get into more. He deserves some praise tonight because we've been very slanderous of him. Very constructive, critical of him, I'll say, because he's been terrible. But I actually was very happy with what I saw with Bam tonight. So he kind of led the charge in that third quarter, helped the Heat take a lead. They even had a lead either going into the fourth quarter, start of the fourth quarter. They were up like 1-3 around that range. But then it all went to crap as the Denver Nuggets could not miss. And that's the thing about the Denver Nuggets. Anytime they're in a close game, they have a chance to win 99% of the time because they are so elite at getting good looks, which is the opposite of what the Miami Heat could do. I mean, and the frustrating part tonight, though, it was without Nikola Jokic. You were up in that fourth quarter to start the quarter. You had no Jokic. That's the time to build on the lead. But the Miami Heat could not guard Christian Braun, or Brown, however the hell you say his name. The man spells it like Brown, but I think it's pronounced Brown. That's stupid. You couldn't guard him. He was getting right to the rim, standing on the three-point line, wide open. You couldn't guard Peyton Watson. You couldn't guard Reggie Jackson. You couldn't guard Michael Porter Jr. And then by the time Jokic got back in the game, it was all essentially over. So that was the frustrating part, because really, before this 4-game skid, when the Miami Heat were kind of rolling, defense was their calling card. That's always been their identity, obviously, but that is what was helping them lead to wins. And now you look at the game tonight, the Nuggets only scored 100 points, and the Miami Heat scored 88. My God. But what the most disappointing part is, again, is in that fourth quarter, they gave up 28 points. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but most of that was in the first half of the quarter before the game kind of got out of hand, and they were just unable to get stops. Even earlier in the game, they had a lot of possessions in the first half, a lot of chances to sort of build the lead or cut Denver's double-digit lead faster than they did, because they were getting stops then. I mean, Denver only scored 24 points in the second quarter, 22 in the third quarter, but then the Heat couldn't get buckets. In that first half, you had Bam Adebayo missing bunnies at the rim, missing back-to-back free throws. He was pretty bad in the first half. But I do want to jump to that third quarter, which was, the best way I could describe it was magical by Bam Adebayo. The last few games for Bam has obviously been terrible, to put it lightly, and his confidence has really been gone. He really hasn't looked the same out there, right? Even today in the first half, which he wasn't good in that first half, he had a little push shot from 7-8 feet out that sort of rattled in, like it bounced up and then fell in. And as soon as it bounced, he threw his hands up like, oh, another one of these. Because he's had a lot bounce out. I think it's kind of in his head. He's not putting the right touch on it. But then it eventually ended up going in, right? So he's like, oh, okay, right? But then in that third quarter, Jokic is sagging way off of Bam. And Bam just spots up at the three-point line, takes his time, raises with confidence, and cashes it. Finally, another three-pointer for Bam Adebayo. Think like it's his second of the season, but really all his other attempts were basically at the end of shot clocks. They were grenades. We had to catch it and shoot it with a second left. This one, he took his time and set into it, and I loved that from Bam Adebayo. One, because it shows confidence. Two, because I think we all believe he can make that shot. We've seen him do it in plenty of pickup runs in the summer. We know his form is very, very nice, has great follow-through on the wrist, has great extension, right? And three, it forces Jokic to play defense. We know Jokic is the best player in the world, right? But he's not a great defender. And if he's this dominant on the offensive end, you're not going to be able to do anything defensively to really stop it. Now, he wasn't great tonight overall. The Heat do as good a job as you can limiting Jokic. He only finished tonight with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. So relatively quiet night for him, right? But when he wants to, we know he can do whatever he wants on offense. So the best way to mitigate that is to make him work on the defensive end. And you can't make him work at the defensive end if you're not being aggressive. Now, Bam Adebayo tonight, he only shot 15 shots, which is fine. He was 7 of 15, 17 points, 13 rebounds for him, and 3 assists. So not a bad stat line for Bam, but I like the aggressiveness still, as far as extending his range to the three-point line. Because after that, he went inside on Michael Porter Jr. Beautiful fake and spin move, slammed it, showed aggressiveness. The very next play, crazy pass to Duncan Robinson cutting back door. Bam took over, and it was in a versatile sense in that third quarter. Even attacking off getting rebounds, going coast to coast, and that makes Jokic work. And we know that man is not in the best shape. So if you force him to try a little bit on the other end, I do think that can help slow him down on the offensive side a little bit. But let's kind of go ahead and get into this box score and talk about everyone here. Jimmy wasn't great tonight. 15 points and 5 rebounds for him. He was 6 of 16, so obviously pretty poor. A problem with that is he struggles versus this team because they're very big. They have a lot of size and a lot of great, defenders that even are big. I mean, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And the reason this is concerning is because if this Heat team was to get back to the finals, there's a very high chance that they'd meet the Denver Nuggets, and this team just has Jimmy's number. They match up very, very well with him, and that's what the playoffs are. So that part is frustrating. A team like the Milwaukee Bucks, they don't match up well with Jimmy. A team like the Boston Celtics, they clearly don't match up well with Jimmy. But the Denver Nuggets, they got the pieces to kind of slow him down, and we've essentially seen that every time Jimmy has faced Denver. Nikola Jovic, his most quiet game in a while, 15 minutes tonight, and a lot of that, he only had 3 points. A lot of that is because he's been playing the backup 5, but today, Spoelstra trusted Thomas Bryant to go out there versus his former team, and Thomas Bryant had himself a nice little stint. Thomas Bryant tonight, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He played very, very well. I personally like Thomas Bryant in short spurts. I know a lot of people disagree, but I think he's a guy out there that plays with a lot of energy, and although he doesn't have a lot of skill, I think having a guy out there just to go kind of balls to the walls and show some energy for 10 minutes, I do think that is something that can be beneficial to a team. So because he did play well today, Jovic didn't get a lot of run in the starting lineup, but that's fine. I don't think this is a great matchup for Jovic anyways because they obviously started him on Aaron Gordon, the opposing 4. Aaron Gordon could bully him. Now, if they were to put him more on Michael Porter Jr., it could work better, but then that means you'd have Jimmy with Aaron Gordon, and that matchup doesn't work well. Listen, the Denver Nuggets are a matchup nightmare. We know this. Duncan Robinson tonight, 11.6 rebounds, 5 of 10 from him. Fine. Terry Rozier, 14 points for him. Terry's a guy that kind of kept the game close early on when nobody else could score. I think that he had like 9 points, 8 minutes into the game, and half of those, if not more, definitely more, were from Terry Rozier. And again, I really just like his ability to score at will. He's very versatile. Only 4 assists tonight to 2 turnovers, so his ratio got a little bit worse. But I really like what he brings out there. I feel like there's a visual, almost a tangible impact that he has out there, which is not something that we could say about Kyle Lowry. And again, quiet night from really everyone tonight. The only guy that stood out was Bam in that third quarter, because even off the bench, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin, Patty Mills finally shot inefficient, 1 of 6 for him. Nobody else really did too much for you there. But on the Denver Nuggets side, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon continue to kill you again. Those are the guys that just because they're so big and you got Bam on Jokic, nobody else is really there that can guard those other 2 guys. 25 points for Michael Porter Jr., 16 for Aaron Gordon. And Jamal Murray, relatively quiet tonight too, 14 points for him. So overall, I'm not that mad just because it's the Denver Nuggets. Listen, you got 2 games versus the Detroit Pistons coming up back-to-back. You better win those. And I said the same thing before you played the Wizards and you lost to the Wizards. And at that point, I wasn't even mad either, just because I was so numb at that point. I was mad when we lost to the Mavericks. I was mad because we lost to the Thunder, because those were good teams and we were in it. But once they lost to the Wizards, it's like, what do you want me to do? I had someone comment after the last video, because I did get a little bit mad. And someone said, oh, if the Heat were to go out there and beat Denver and win their next 4 games, I bet your tone would change. Yeah, no shit. The hell? I'm reacting to the games. If they win, I'm gonna be happy. I'm a fan of the team. shout out to Heat vs. Haters. He put this this little meme out here today, a new Heat meme, Heat fan meme. You start off with Heat culture, we going back to the finals, followed by bad loss. It's only one game, we gonna bounce back, and then it's over. Trade Pat Riley, put the boy in the nursing home. And then, of course, when they win, we back at it, like snorting that culture cocaine. You know how it goes, baby. But yeah, like that's the life of being a Heat fan, sure, but just a fan in general. When they lose games, I'm gonna feel bad. When they win games, I'm gonna feel good. That doesn't mean that my opinion on the team changes every day, because I think that'd just be stupid. I've been said I think this team can and will get back to the NBA Finals. That's been my prediction, and I'm sticking with it. But that doesn't mean that I can't criticize them after a bad loss or when Bam plays terrible. I can't say that he played terrible. I can and I will. One, because I have a YouTube channel where I'm reacting to the games, and it wouldn't be entertaining if every video I said, oh, just wait to the playoffs, just wait to no, that'd be boring. And two, I don't think guys are above criticism. If they play bad, I think they're allowed to be criticized, just like they're allowed to play well. People thought I was a Bam Adebayo hater. That's not true. He played bad. Tonight, he played great in that second half. And I'm very looking forward to see the impact that Kevin Love and Tyler Hero have when they come back, because, you know, they were losing a lot of games with Tyler, or I guess they were winning a lot of games when Tyler missed time earlier this season. Now they're losing a lot of games, but it just is so coincidentally when Kevin Love is out. So I don't know who the more important piece is there, but I am interested to see what it's like when those guys get back, because regardless, they need some sort of shakeup, whether it's one or two of those guys. I hope it happens quick. There's no timetable for Hero's return, so he certainly sounds like he's going to miss some more time. And I haven't heard a lot on Kevin Love, but I believe he was questionable like a game or two ago. I don't exactly know what happened to that, but hopefully both of those guys are back as soon as possible. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. A couple days ago, I dropped a pretty long video breaking down the blame for like this team, like who is to blame for their struggles this season. I put together a whole pie chart breaking down percentages of different people, so make sure y'all go check that out, because I'm very curious to hear if y'all agree with me, and it also allows me to share some of my thoughts on these losses here. Anyways, that's officially all I gotta say for this video. I'll come out with another video at some point, maybe after the Detroit game, depending on how that goes. But subscribe so you don't miss it, and like the video, because it does help me out a lot. And I'll see y'all then. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.